And today, okay, tomorrow I'll share you that Google Sheet also, form also, basically to submit your profiles. Okay. So one minute. Okay. How to link the our project and portfolio? I'll talk about that, Usha. Don't worry. Bye. Everything will cover. Bye. Don't worry about it. I think guys, people have joined already. We can... Okay, let's get started. I'll open our folder. What you will see, Sadaf. Don't worry, bye. No need to ask every day, but we're gonna learn what we're gonna or not gonna learn every day. Will in front of you only, bye. Don't worry about it. Because I also don't come with a plan. Okay, this is what I'm gonna cover today. So basically, I'll just go with the flow and we'll cover that. Okay. So everything will come in front of you only, Sadaf. Yes, I think Karthik, Kaushik, yes.
Actually, there is some issue while creating a profile live. It is I followed every step, but the link is not getting generated.
So share me that GitHub URL, which will push the code. Have you directly pushed the code? It should make sure that it should not be one folder you should push. It should be the index file. When I open
Yeah.
the index file should be visible to me. You share me the link, I'll
Oh, yeah.
normally what happens, you
Yeah, after
upload the
the class, I
folder.
will.
Yeah, normally upload the folder in the folder that index is there. No. Index should be in the root, not inside the folder.
Okay, it should be in outside the folder.
Yes.
I created one folder named my profile. In that, I have index and HTML,
Have you uploaded manually?
index.html and
Have you uploaded manually to GitHub?
no, I through Git Bash I pushed it.
So make sure that it should not make a folder. So directly visible to you, not inside the folder.
Okay. Yeah, I will share you link after the class.
Not required. I told you the problem that you've done. Now just fix that problem. It will work.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's get started. Okay. Guys, last time we start writing this. So today, as per the plan, we have to cover few more HTML tag, and I would like to add some CSS to our page also. Okay. Let me cover a few important tags first, and then I'll see if I can add little bit CSS today itself. Okay. So let's get started. First of all, now here, if we go, I'll run this second file. Guys, basically what happened when we start making our pages, correct? On that page, we have to divide our page into multiple small area. Okay. So we have to divide our page into multiple small area. How exactly that small area thing work? How you divide your page into one section? There come the very, so if any tag that is used inside your application, the most used tag inside your application is always one, that is git. Git is the most, sorry, div is the most used tag of your page. Guys, 1 minute. Guys, if any tag that is used maximum time in your page, so that is anyways the div tag. Okay, div tag is the most used tag of your page. I'll tell you one thing. If you normally use a div tag, you will see no value of that div tag. Okay, div tag have no value basically without any CSS. But I'll tell you basically what exactly we use for. Suppose as example, I have one page. Okay, in that page, on the top, sorry, on the top I put the header. At the bottom I put the footer. Here I want to put, suppose, image slider. Then I want to put the weather information. Okay. Then I want to here put the stock market. Okay. Stock market. Then here I want to put the advertisement. And here I want to show the currency rate. Okay. Currency. Here I'm showing the latest news on the top. Then here weather information, the stock market, some ads are coming, and some currency rates are coming here. Okay. Suppose this is my one website of news. In this website, guys, you have multiple sections. One section. So header footer, anyways, you can make with the header and footer tag. We discussed that last time. We can have header and footer tag. But if I talk about, guys, for latest news, one section, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 more sections on your page. Now, these 5 sections that you have on your page, how you will divide into 5 different sections? Guys, basically for doing that, you will use the div. Div is particularly the tag. So div is particularly the tag that help you to divide your page. Now, so if I, as example, guys, if I talk about, okay, here I am going to talk about the multiple cities. So I'll start dividing my page. Okay. So header I'll keep as it is. On the top, I'll put one div. Okay. Then this whole content I'll put in one div. Okay. I'll remove this extra stuff to make this page look good to us. Okay. Here I'll say, suppose Amsterdam. Okay. On the top in the center tag, in one H2 tag, H1 tag or H2 tag, I'll say Amsterdam. Okay. And now basically I have image, sorry. I have image only of here Amsterdam. Okay. Like this. Now this is particularly my first section of a page. If you go back and refresh, you start getting like this. I'll put some more content that it should look better. Okay. Like this. Look like you're talking about something about the Amsterdam. Now, similarly, I have to talk about, suppose, Manali. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll make one more div and I'll put one HR tag like this and put the same content again. And this is basically for the, this content is basically for I'll say Manali. Okay. Like this. We'll not yet talk about the comments also. I'll talk about comments as well. Okay. Now you're talking about second section. I'll say about Manali. And like this way. Now that image also of Manali. Okay. Now refresh. Guys, this is about the Amsterdam. This is about the Manali. And similarly, I'll have one more section about London. Okay. Now, basically what you did, you have divided your page into three sections. Although for end user, it does not matter. Na, for end user, how does it matter that how you're making your website? They have no idea about it, right? We never seen how the Amazon is designed, correct? As simple as that. Now, if we go back and refresh, we can see about, I'll put an HR tag, like about London, right? Now, basically, what is the benefit of doing that? I can do it without div. So there are two benefits of doing that. First benefit. Now, guys, suppose I want this Amsterdam to have a different background color. This London to have different background color. Manali to have different background color. I can do that because I have put them in the separate container. It's just like that, na, guys. Suppose I want to make any dish. Okay. Now, in some people want a little spicy, some people don't want a spicy. Now, what I'll do, I'll put them in different bowl. Okay, those who want little salty, I'll put extra salt over that. Those who don't want salty, so if I put everything in a one plate and serve to three people, they will not get their own flavor they want. So, point here in terms, I'll say that you divide that in such a way. Okay. So you divide that in such a way that it can be utilized. So div is one thing, guys, by which we divide them. So in other word, I'll say this is how exactly it works for us. We actually divide our page into the multiple section. Now each section can be handled separately. That's the first benefit of that. Okay. Now second benefit. Guys, there's one more thing called as a single template website. When I say single template website, so what it means? Like the one called single page application that you make in React. But when we talk about the single template website, what that actually means? So let me show you. Now I'll make a 3 anchor tags on the top. Okay. So just remember one thing, guys. I'll tell you one thing. Div is the most used tag of your page in any website you go. If any tag that is used most of the time is basically div, because that's what require everywhere divide a page. So I'll make 3 anchor tags: Amsterdam, Manali, London. Okay. Now to each div, I'll give a separate unique identifier, say ID. So ID of this div is Amsterdam. You can give anything to that, A, B, C, it's fine. Do not give a number. Try to give any string, but it can be anything. Amsterdam, Manali, and basically the last one is London. Okay, to each div, I'll give one ID. Okay. Now in anchor tag, guys, do like this. You'll say hash Amsterdam, hash Manali. What is this hash? And hash London, whatever the ID is. Okay, hash and the ID. Guys, a hash represent the ID. Going forward, when I'm going to talk about the CSS also, the two things are there, ID and the class. We'll talk about that. But for now, we understand hash is used to refer any particular ID. Now see what happened. If I click on Amsterdam, see the section of Amsterdam came on a top. If I click on Manali, the Manali came on a top. If I click on London, the London will came on a top. It's just like that. If you go to my website, rather than having a multiple page, because my website is small, I don't want to have multiple pages. So now one page, I can have this multiple time. Now see, I click on skill, the skill come on top. I click on YouTube, the YouTube come on top. Similarly, when I click on the Manali will come on a top like that. So this is called single template website that also can be designed using this. The one more tag called section tag, it's fine. It's HTML5 tag called section tag, but it's not required. But this is what exactly you need. Clear, guys? Anyone not clear? With a div means a division. But we'll start making it look better today with the help of CSS. We'll start reading a CSS and keep learning HTML parallelly. Guys, when I say CSS, does it mean that HTML over? No, HTML is never going to over. HTML, CSS is never going to over. We'll keep learning. We don't have to sit to say half an hour and just learning it. Or for 5 days, you're just learning it. It's not like that. Okay. So the point here in terms of, I'll say that this is how it works. Anyone, guys, any question till this point? Okay. Now let's start making this only thing look better than with the help of a CSS. Now what the CSS is? And don't worry, guys, while learning a React also you'll learn more HTML tag. While learning the CSS also you learn more HTML tag. It's like that. Okay. Now the point here in terms of, I'll say, for HTML CSS done. Amruta, there is no such I'll unmute. Is there any hurry to start the React, Amruta? Unmute once.
No, no.
Then, ma'am, do not count. I told you in my classes, now, ma'am, do not count the number of classes and days and hour, ma'am. I'll go with a normal pace. Don't worry, ma'am. If I committed you the things, I'll cover everything, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Akash.
Yeah. If you rush now, ma'am, it become chaos. Then I'll start feeling like, hey, people want this, so now leave this. I'll start skipping the thing in that case. And it become difficult for you later stages. So do not rush in my class. You have not paid for number of days or number of hours. You have paid for to become perfect, which is my commitment. I'll make you. But do not rush, guys, in my class, and do not think in terms of how many classes for this, how many classes for that. Everything will come in front of you. Just wait for a few days, everything will cover. And I'll tell you when the React will start, and it will become very difficult if you don't understand these things. You're not able to start the things. And I said one more thing. If anybody think it's waste of my time right now, I know HTML, CSS, show your skill. If anybody here thinks I know very good HTML, CSS, show your skill to people and say, okay, sir, see, this is what I made. This is my a Flipkart design I made. How it is. So the point is like that, show your skills. That's what exactly I want. Like this, make something like this. This is Amazon website somebody have made. This is a Flipkart website somebody have made. Or Amazon Prime. So if you think like you already know HTML, CSS, go ahead, guys. You can skip few classes and start making it. Okay. Now, here in terms of, I'll talk about, now I have to start adding the CSS to my page. So when I have read a CSS, guys, the 3 way to add a CSS to any website. Okay. 3 way to add the CSS. Now, guys, I'm removing this payment detail thing because ideally you already have all done with this part. So unnecessary it's in a page. I'll remove it. Okay. Recording link I can still keep, but I'll remove that part. Okay. Fine. Now the 3 way to add a CSS to your page. One is called as the inline CSS. One is called as a style tag, and one is called as the style sheet. Okay. Inline, style tag, style sheet. Now they have the priority order, guys. So inline has the highest priority, then the style tag, and then the style sheet. Inline has the high priority, style tag, and style sheet. Okay. So now I'll tell you how exactly it is, and I'll ask from you guys only. They give me the answer for this question. Okay. How to give those CSS, how we add it, we'll talk about that, guys. Like HTML is about the tags now. CSS is all about the properties like color, background, height, weight. Those things will come under your basically CSS. So as HTML is all about the tags, so CSS is all about your, I'll say, basically in terms of design. Okay. Now, so suppose guys, how to give that, we'll talk about it. Now, take an example. Through inline CSS, I'll give a 3 property. I'll give the color as red, then height as 50 pixel percentage also I'll teach you, and basically I'll say your background color orange or say green. Okay, these are the 3 property I'll give through inline CSS. How will give, how it reflect, you will see. First, understand the priority. Okay, now through style tag, to same element, okay, to same suppose div, I'll give all 3 different ways of CSS. Now to particularly through style tag, I'll give the color as orange. Say width as 90 pixel. And I'll give one more property, say font size 30 pixel. Okay. Now through style sheet, I'll give the font size 35 pixel. Height I'll give 70 pixel, and I'll give your Z index 100. Okay. To one element, I'll give all 3 ways of CSS: inline, style tag, style sheet. Now, guys, if I talk about one thing, if I ask you, what you think, which all properties will be applied to this? Guys, what do you think? Which all properties will be applied to this? Ping me in chat. अब बताओ कि कौन कौन सी प्रॉपर्टी अप्लाई होंगी एक टैग के ऊपर, if I give by 3 ways. Everyone ping me in chat. Inline. Okay. Sir, inline has high priority. Okay, inline. Any other answer, guys? Okay, everyone say inline. Okay. So look like guys, everyone is saying inline. Right? Okay. Now, guys, I'll answer the property. Bharat say all. Inline all three. How all 3 can be applied? Let's understand from Ashutosh. Yes, Ashutosh, how all 3 can be applied?
Font size can be applied to everything, even if you haven't given a font family.
There's no such logic like that, buddy. Who said this thing? No. Okay, Mohammed is giving some answer. Okay, there are 1 or 2 correct answer also. Now, Those who are saying inline, you guys are partially correct. I say 10% correct. You know one thing, guys, if you give all three properties to one particular tag, what all will be applied? All properties of inline will be applied. All the properties of inline will be applied. Then from the style tag, width and font size, and from the style sheet, Z index. Guys, these 6 property will be applied to the particular tag. These 6 properties will get applied to the particular tag. Now let's understand how. Guys, when we talk about like this way in terms of priority, so what did it do? So all the property of the inline will be applied because inline anyways have the high priority. Okay. Now, what is not there in inline? What is not there in inline, that will be applied from style tag. See, color is there, it will not apply. Width is not there, it will apply. Font size is not there, it will apply. In a style sheet, what is not the part of the style tag and the inline? Font size, here not applied. Height, here not applied. Z index, neither in this, neither in this. So this will be applied. So guys, this is how priority works. Means by default, all the property of inline will have high priority. What is in a style sheet? What is not in the inline, that applied from a style tag? What is not in the style tag and inline, that will be applied from the style sheet. So this is how exactly your priority of the CSS work. Is it clear, guys? Anyone not clear till this point? Raise hand if you're not clear in terms of priority. Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, hi, Akash. So what are the things is not there in the that individual things? So except that one, it's added, right?
What is not in the inline CSS, that will apply from style tag? What is not in the style tag and inline, that will apply from style sheet?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a some. If suppose style tag having a 3, so remaining inline and style sheet different from style tag, what it will be there? Those things only added to style tag.
It's very simple, buddy. If suppose to one particular tag, I give all this property, all the property of inline, what is not in inline, that from style tag, what is not in style tag and inline, that's from style sheet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sudhakar.
Hi Akash. In case I have choice to use instead of using inline, I can directly use style sheet also.
That's not in your control, no? Means either don't write a inline. If you're writing inline, it get a priority. As simple like that. The best way is do not write inline CSS.
Yes. Okay.
Fine. Okay. Now let's go with the next thing, guys. So let's start today learning the inline CSS, and tomorrow we can learn the style tag and the style sheet also. So first of all, I'll go with the say first.cs. I'm teaching you inline. Okay. For inline, we don't make a separate CSS file. For a style sheet, we'll make a separate CSS file. Okay. Now what I'll do is, guys, I'll try to get rid of the center tag and all those things also, and the same code that we have write. So the same code that we write in simple HTML, I try to convert that basically with the help of CSS. Okay. So we'll simply go to second and I'll copy this whole content and paste in this. Oh, it should not HTML file, not CSS file. My bad. So I'll paste it here and this image folder also, na. I'll move here. Okay. Now, if I run, it look normal, right? Now let's start adding some CSS to that. First of all, guys, rather than having like this, I'll try to convert them into the cards. So there is a way. Basically, first of all, let's forget about this also for a few minutes. Now, let me give you the real picture of how exactly div look like. Okay. Forget about all this. How exactly div look like. Now, I'll make a 3 divs here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. If I refresh, nothing is visible because div have no space, nothing. Now, guys, I'll start giving a CSS. To give an inline CSS, let us property called style. Okay. To this, I'll give the height and the width. We'll talk about that, guys, what to give in pixel, what to give in percentage. But right now, I'm giving both in the pixel only. Pixel is a unit like meter, kilometer, miles is a units. Now, similarly, pixel, percentage, EM, they are the units. You can go more in detail because, guys, obviously my focus will be more on React. But obviously, if you want, you can go in a more detail of learning these things, but I'll try to cover that much that you'll be aware of these things and you can easily consume them in React. But obviously, for detailed learning, you can go spend more time on this. Okay. But do not spend time on reading. Try making something. When you make, automatically you will learn. So I'll give a height of that as approximately 200 pixel and the width of that as 200 pixel. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let high here. Okay. In the second div, I write high. I don't give any CSS to that as of now. Okay. See, it's coming here. Okay. As soon as I add the CSS, when I refresh, do you see, guys, it moved down. Why? Because 200 pixel of the space of the height is taken by this particular div. It's not visible to you because we have not given any color to that. But remember one thing, guys, div is a block level element. It starts in a new line and take a 200 pixel of the height. Now, what I'll do is I'll give some background color to that. I'll give a background color of that as, say, sky blue. Okay, when you refresh, see, you get this. Now, can clearly visible 200 height, 200 width, size of this div. In a similar way, if I give to other divs also, I'll give in terms of, I'll say, so here I give a color of that as purple. Okay. And I'll to third div, I'll give a color as hot pink. Okay. Hot pink. Now refresh. Okay. Now the point here is now when I refresh, see, guys, you get all 3 divs. You get all 3 divs. Now my requirement is to these div to occupy my whole width of the screen. Okay. Right now I give 200 pixel, but I want it to cover my whole width of the screen. How? So suppose guys, the point is like that. So guys, just 1 minute. Huh? Now suppose I know the width of my screen is 1440 pixels. Okay. So I give the width of that as 1440 because that's my size of the screen. Okay. Now see what happens. It covers the whole width. Okay. Suppose I'll say 1420 is the right option to choose. Okay. Perfect. It looked fine. Now what I did is guys, in this now I add text. Please listen carefully. It's a very important thing I'm teaching you. So now what I do is I added some text in this div. Okay. Fine. Edit. Okay. Now what I'll do guys, when I and the other two which I have now, to them I'll give the width as around 600 and 600 refresh. Okay. Now when I make a screen small, suppose this is my big screen, I'm sorted. Okay, it's my screen, I'm sorted. But suppose somebody is trying to open my website in their tablet. Now what they have to do guys, to see my content, they have to scroll like this. This is absolutely wrong. There is a basic thumb rule of the web development or any website. You should never scroll left and right. This is the basic thumb rule that you should never scroll left and right. You go any website, guys, open Flipkart, Facebook, Amazon, any website you open. You never scroll left and right. You always scroll up and down. So you always scroll up and down. You never scroll left and right for any website, right? So this is called responsive designing. That the basic thumb rules say my website should not be like this. It should always be like this. So how we can solve it? I'll tell you. So the point is like that. Here it goes in a way. According to rule, it say height should be given in the pixel. Okay. Height should be given in the pixel. When it comes to the width, we should give that in the percentage. So we should give here the percentage. Now here I'll give basically width as 100% and width as 50. 150. Now refresh. You are sorted. How sorted? Now try to make a screen smaller. Try to make a screen smaller. See, guys, none of the content is going out of, you don't have to scroll. This is something a browser, you cannot avoid that, but the whole content is visible to you. This cover the 100%, this cover the 50%. Suppose I want a bigger screen. This cover the 100%, it covers the 50%, more bigger, 100% and 50%. This is what I'm talking about. You should always make sure, try guys, maximum time. If it's unavoidable, then nothing can be done. The width should be given in the percentage and height should be given in the pixel. Is it clear, guys? Anyone any question, any doubt in this logic. It's a very important logic. It's a very basic logic. If you're clear with this logics now, and from beginning you start following these things, your design automatically shine out well. Clear? Okay. Now, let's come to next thing, guys. So next point here in terms of, I'll say, I want to be in the card-like structure. Okay, I want to make them as a card. This is a responsive, we give a width percentage. Maximum of it become responsive automatically. Not everything, font size and a lot of things you have to fix also, but at least your outlines should become responsive. They don't have any scroll bars. Amruta. Okay, minimum thing at least will be fulfilled. Okay, now basically what I'll do is, guys, I'll give the height of them as I can. If you want, I can just take this code and put them in the comment. Comment means this code will not execute, but you can refer this code. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll give the height of at 400 pixel, width as 20%. Okay. Height 400 and width 20. I'll have 4 cards. I have 4 cities I'll talk about. Amsterdam, London, Manali. One is missing, Helsinki. Okay, we'll see that. We'll bring it. Might be tomorrow we need it. So I'll have 4 days. Okay. Now the colors only. The different way to give a colors also. We'll talk about that colors as well. How we give colors. Okay, how we decide different way of giving a colors. Okay. Now when I refresh my page, you get the 4 divs. By default, what happened, guys? Their divs are coming one under the other. So your divs are coming one under the other. The reason for that is because ultimately the div that you're doing is a block level element. As it's a block level element, so basically what happened? They always come in the new line. But the requirement here is particularly to bring them one beside each other. There are multiple of doing that: display inline block, flex box, and float left. I'll go with the first of all simplest one, that is float left. When we use 60 pixel in width, how do we responsive? When we use 60 pixel in width, sorry. Avinash, unmute and talk. What does it mean?
We use the pixels of what we do, sir. Only percentage responsive.
Wait. Sorry, come again. Go slow and just let's again.
You give responsive in 100%. How we do in pixels?
You don't do it. That's what I said. No, but if you give a pixel, you cannot make it responsive. That's what I just said.
We use media queries.
Sorry.
Media queries we use.
Nobody, media query, different story. Media query is to basically adjust the content. But outside is not in a pixel. If you give it a pixel, then ultimately you have to struggle a lot. So always the basic rule, the width should be given in the percentage only, not in a pixel.
Okay.
First of all, you do a mistake of putting that pixel into percentage and then fix the media query. How this is right? Now, guys, I want them one beside each other. Okay. So there is one simple property available in the CSS called float left. What the float left will do? Yes, float left will bring this on the left hand side. Refresh. Float left will bring it on the left hand side. You see? Like this. To each of them, I give float left and it bring each of them one beside each other. But I want some margin also. Now, this is again a last topic and it's a very good game, a good calculation you have to do here. I'll give the margin of each of them. So I'll give margin basically for each of them 5%. Okay, suppose. What happened? Why this came in next line? Okay, let's understand the logic here. And if I give a margin here 2% rather than 5%, I'll give it a 2%. Okay, let's see. The basic math of the now it looks fine. See, all of them are coming in the same line and same margin around. What the logic behind it? Okay, understand. When I again make it a 5%, why they are coming in the next line? Is what is the maximum value? Maximum value is 100, correct? As maximum value is 100, so you have got 20. Basically, if I'll say you have given, let me change the color also. You have given 20% to this, 20% to this, 20% to this, and 20% to this. How much it will become in total? 20, 20, 20, 20. It is 80. How much you left? 20. 100 minus 80, 20. Correct? Now, you give margin 5%. When you just say margin, guys, it take a margin from each side. Means it take 5% from here, 5% from here, 5% from here, and 5% from here. Okay. Now the second div. Second div also, guys, take a 5% from here, 5% here, 5% here, and 5% here. And similarly, your third div, 5%, 5%, 5%, and 5%. Now, what is total, guys? So in one line, 20, 20, 20, 60. 60 plus 5, 65. Now 5 plus 5, 10. 5 plus 5, 10. So it will become 20. So 5 plus 20, 25. 25 plus 10, 35. 35 plus 20, 55. 55 plus 10, 65. 65 plus 20, 85. 85 plus 5, 90. Total you have 100, 90 you already consumed. Total you have 100, 90 already consumed. How much is left? Only 10. But how much you require to bring this div here? 20 plus 5, 25 is required. If I have a 25 left, then it will come here. Let me explain in Hindi also. Total आपका 100 है, ठीक है? 20, 20, 20 आपने इसको दे दिया, 60 हो गया, 5% मार्जिन हो गया, तो 10 प्लस 10 20 और 10 प्लस 10 20, तो 5 5 10, सो 60 70 80 90 90 तो आपने कंज्यूम कर लिया, कितना बचा 10, चाहिए कितना 25, क्यों 20 इसका 5 इसका मार्जिन, तो उसको नहीं मिला तो वो नीचे आ गया. Once again, you have 100 out of 100, 20, 20, 20, you have given here 60. Margin 10 plus 10, 20, 5 plus 5, 10, 90 total. Left 10. How much you require? 25. It's not there, so it come here. But when I give 2%, now same calculation with the 2%. It will work. Now 5% will also work in one scenario. I'll tell you how. It will work. 2%. Why? 20, 20, 20, 80. Now in 80, here 2. This is 2 plus 2. So this is total 4. All right. This is 4. This is 4. This is 4. And this is 2. So how much will become? 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 80, 94. Still we left the 6. So this is the 6%, which is still left with. Okay. Now one more scenario. When you say margin, guys, it takes from all the side. But I'll say margin hyphen left. I'll just say margin left. If I say margin left, now it works. Margin left and 5%. So what it do? It only take a margin from margin left, right, top, bottom, all are possible. Now it only take a margin from left hand side. So 85, 5, 5, 5. 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 20. There's absolutely 100% is covered. Because 80 is the size of a div, 5 margin will become 20, 20 plus 80, 100. So guys, this is the basic math that you have to use. The total you have 100, as simple as that. In total, I have 100. That 100 I have to adjust in such a way that my websites, my content should start adjusting the way I want. Suppose I want 3 divs only. Okay, I want 3 div next in next line. So divide that 100 divided by 3 and see what margin you want to give. So you don't have to do every time math. When you start writing a code now, guys, on daily basis, it becomes your habit. You automatically become perfect for, obviously, guys. Remember, when you were in the junior classes, you have learned A, B, C, D. If today I ask, okay, what come after D? You simply say F. How? So easy. No, it was not easy. Remember the day when you were in a KG or nursery, you don't know even that A, B, C, D. That's how it works. But how you now know this thing? Because you have done it a lot of time. You have done a lot of practice. You have done it so many times now. You remember the things very well. In a similar fashion, guys, it works. So basically, obviously, guys, for our initial days, the things look difficult to you. It look like it's not easy for me to. I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding it. But you will get it. You will understand it. Keep doing a practice. Keep asking me. I'll try to answer. But this is how exactly you adjust. And my preference is rather than 5%, I will go with the 2% of the just margin as 2%. That is my preference because that is making it the cards looking better too. Okay. Now tomorrow we'll add the images, we'll add the content and make it look like a proper card-like structure. That's a task for tomorrow with an inline only. And tomorrow only I'll try to cover the style, say sheet also, style tag also, not sheet. We'll see. We can my style sheet only. Plus one more thing that I'll do tomorrow is I will give you the Google form, which you have to fill with your profile website link. Okay. Fine. Now go ahead and start asking a doubt those guys. And guys, I'm telling you one thing, every day practice. It's so important that you have to try all these things. Do not take it lightly. Arey HTML hi to hai, kal kar lenge, nahi hoga bhai. When things start piling up, it becomes difficult. And what happened? I'll tell you after a few days. You will start complaining. You will say, "Arey, sir is not teaching well. I'm not understanding it." No, it's not a problem, buddy. Problem is you're not doing a practice. Now the burden has increased on you. Now you want to just make an excuse of that. And whose loss is that? Your loss. Because if you make an excuse, whose loss is this? Suppose you say, okay, sir is not teaching well, I'm not getting it. Whose loss is this? Your loss. Because you're not putting the effort to understand it. So, buddy, I'll put my 100%, you put 100%, okay, and we'll succeed. Fine. That's how, guys, that is what we have to cover today. Now, anyone, any question, any doubt to ask? Are we good? Perfect. Cool. Then let's connect tomorrow, same time for our next topic. Thank you.